Ryan, let's just get the fuck in here. 6 floors to go. Are you feeling the heat yet?
I'm feeling the heat. I'm feeling the shady heat.
The hot fire?
Yeah.
The heat of your regrind through the rechain? Oh no! We're doing that one last.
Wonderland? Let's go to the Coliseum. That one's cool.
Yeah.
Let's have a nice breeze through the Coliseum. Welcome, everyone. Kingdom Hearts 2.
Nope.
No, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, but this is Pajanime 2.
That's the one.
That's Kyle. I'm Ryan. We're here.
Yep, those are all correct. Everything you just said.
The organization is afoot. Fake Riku just got wrecked, and seems like they're giving him a heart.
Of the cards.
He's got to get less. He's got to get lesser before he fights Sora.
Yeah, I
which
think
we know happens because
we beat
this
Sora
game already, and this is anime. So, welcome to an unknown. Yeah, we don't know where we are. Where are you? It's unknown.
I know where I am. Right in the middle of the Coliseum, baby. Hey.
Kyle ended our last episode talking about unions.
I did.
And I just wanted to briefly say on channel that
Ryan's super pro-union to an extreme amount.
I don't know how Kyle feels about it, but I am not super pro-union, but I definitely support union. It's just, I feel like the people who want to get rid of union and just go to like draconian, hey man, everyone else can determine how much you're worth, is like, no, that's not fair. Like, that's not right. Just because some union situations have played out negatively.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the entire system
the baby out with the bathwater, if you will.
I will.
I think the solution more would be, hey, we should come up with rules to make sure that if people are manipulating unions, that there are consequences and fair
discourse.
Yes, and reprimandations or whatever.
Reprimands.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Lasting
and a lot
days.
of places and games do not have unions, which is bad. There turns out there's a lot of industries that people do that we like associate with like fame or creative celebrity, or you know what I mean, etc. That don't have unions. Like a lot of sports, like obviously the majors aren't, but like UFC, wrestling, those both don't have unions.
Esports just got them.
How does esports have unions and video games and wrestling and UFC? How does the fucking billion-dollar company UFC not have a union, but fucking esports does?
Yeah, dude. Hey, those league players...
You want to know why? Because esports was like, if we actually want to take ourselves seriously, we should do the same thing the NHL and the NFL and all those other real sports did. Get unions.
It turned out, I can't speak to other esports, but with League specifically, a lot of people were getting a lot of legal trouble because they weren't playing their players properly, and they were like forcing them into shitty contracts because, you know, it's a bunch of fucking kids. And it's not like, you know, like when you're in the NHL and you're like, okay, I'm Alex Ovechkin, I don't know anything about contract work, but I'm going to be a really big deal, and I have an agent, and everyone in the world with eyes knows that I'm an amazing hockey player and that I can make mad money off of this.
And if I signed for less, there would be reactions.
Yeah. If you're 17-year-old really good mid laner, one, your parents don't give a fuck. Maybe like
any amount of money. They're like, oh, money for video games?
They're like, yeah. Well, not even just that, but they're like, we don't support this as a career path. It's a little bit less of a problem now, but pre-union, we're talking like 2012, right? People were getting kicked out of their houses because they wanted to play professional League of Legends. That did happen.
So what you're saying, it was very easy for fake Ari Gold to come on in and
just like
swindle?
Yeah, exactly.
Shady business. What we were talking about before.
Well, we were
fucking shady.
They weren't here for that conversation, but yes. Yeah, it was pretty fucked, right?
Off air.
So a lot of these contracts started being broken up. Like, it was like, okay, you do have that contract, but that contract is bullshit because you know that you fucked with this kid in order to get everything done. You know this isn't ethical, so this is obviously null and void. But it's real easy to manipulate those kids because they're not going to know that those aren't going to hold up. They just think, like, this was made by a real lawyer. I can have no chance against this thing. And even, like, after that stuff more recently, like, teams have had to do, like, settling out of court over not even real things. Somebody tried to use, this was as recently as 2016, heading into that season, one of the bigger teams, my favorite team, TSM, we're trying to bring in an import jungler. and he had a verbal agreement that was in no way a contract. He had Skype logged. It was like, yeah, I'll probably play for your team. If you start drawing up the paperwork, I'll play for this team. And then TSM shows up and they're like, hey, we're like the best team in North America. We have lots of money and like a huge fan base. This is a really good opportunity for you. And he's like, yeah, I'd actually like to go with that team. And this other dude was like, I'm gonna, like, he started having his lawyer like call the kid's mom's house. But like, you're gonna face legal action. We're gonna take you to court because we have a contract. These Skype logs are legally binding. And like, the logs were eventually released. He was just like, yeah, I'll play for your team. You have to drop the paperwork and we'll get it together. That's in no way legally binding. That's in just talks. That's all that is. And eventually it got settled because once he did sign his actual contract, Reggie's lawyers came in. Reggie, the owner of TSM, were like, okay, we're gonna. This is not your mom's problem. And if these people keep calling your mom, it's gonna be because they were like, like the 3 a.m. phone calls because the guy was from Europe and it was Europe and North America, so time zones were weird. But like, you can't make 3 a.m. phone calls over and over. And yeah, they got that settled out real quickly once the team that originally wanted him we're not gonna win that case. But like, yeah, that's some shit, and that's like. That was just before the Players Association, but after, like, there was, like, definitely, like, an ethics board, and, like, shit had gotten a lot better. They were in the middle of building the Player Association. That only came in, I want to say, either at the end of 2017 or the start of 2018. But, yeah, how the fuck does UFC not have that? That's been around since the 80s. Not its current
wrestling doesn't.
form.
The same reason wrestling doesn't.
Yeah.
Because
Vince is a dick?
No, that's not wild.
I know.
That is somewhat true, but it's because... So, I believe what happened is that in the case of, I think there's some similarities to both wrestling and MMA, is that there was never one big promotion until at a certain point, right? Until the industry was pretty well established. Like, there was a lot of different promotions and etc., right? Like, UFC was going in the earlies, but there was athletes were competing everywhere, right? If you could fight, you could fight. If you could take someone down, you could take someone down.
And in those cases, I understand why
they were
it's
still competing in Pride, and then even as UFC was getting going, there was still Strike Force. There was still a bunch of Invicta, which is a women's promotion. There was still a couple other promotions in Japan, and on top of that, there's also local promotions, right? Like at a bar or things like that. Like, I'm sure you've seen flyers for these type of things. Sometimes they hold more. It's more often in the States, right? And in Japan, is they'll hold them at smaller venues. Like think about like independent, right? It may not be a promotion or a promotion that books a lot, but it could just be they book a few shows a year, right? At the end of the day, all those fighters or wrestlers would be considered independent contractors.
Yeah, and in those cases, I understand. But when you're working exclusively for, like, the WWE, you're not an independent contractor
because their profession
anymore.
got considered, essentially, as their profession grew, before these big companies kind of made their space known, right? Like, before they had market domination, right?
Yeah.
Here's a really good way to look at them. They're like current-day Walmart. Right? Who only got unions, not relatively, you know what I mean? And even then, there's still lots of fights, like to the point where if workers have threatened to strike, sometimes they just shut down locations. Walmart still does a lot of shady shit and gets away with it.
Yep.
Because it turns out shady shit is not actually the determination for whether something's illegal. It actually has to be illegal, right, in the books. And there's a lot of shady shit that isn't illegal.
Well,
right?
yeah, that's why it's shady.
I remind everyone again, loan sharks are legal.
And they're getting around the rules. Well, loan sharks as a concept are legal. I'm going to go break your fingers.
Some bookies, like, the term bookie, bookies that get away with doing, like, the profession associated with, like, essentially roughing people up to collect and a bunch of other shady shit. That actual profession, there are legal versions of that, which is how a lot of them fly
Payday
under the
Loans
radar, right?
is a great example of that, right?
Yeah, it's how a lot of them fly under the radar. Yeah, those are the more professional business ones, but there's ones where you can still technically apply for a license for some of that stuff and run it out of your home office, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just...
It's why the Saul Goodman character is so good, because technically a lot of what he's doing, even though it's shady, is, again, within the realms of, legal...
Well, the reason it's shady is because you're manipulating laws that were intended to stop one thing from happening, but the letter of it does not stop it from actually happening, right? Like,
it turns out you don't actually have to always be operating law.
Oh, Herc just took an arrow to the knee.
To work with it legally. You have to actually operate it how it's written.
Yeah.
Which is, yes. What were we discussing? Sorry.
Shady shit.
Yeah, but before that we were discussing the esports franchises.
Well, and like how unions and how they should.
Oh yeah, or the contractors for wrestling and MMA. And
Yeah,
how
the
that
contractor
kinda came
situation.
to. Yeah, and then I compared them to Walmart. Yeah, there we go. So because the profession got like they legally determined. So these professions are contractors because there's just no. They're governed differently because of the nature.
And the way that they worked
right?
at the time, I understood the logic, but now.
Yes, but no one's gone in and updated that. So
Yeah.
since the two conglomerates have gone in and taken market share, no one's gone in and said, these conglomerates are signing exclusive deals, but because the profession is still listed as a contractor, these conglomerates can get away with mistreating their employees because they have all the leverage. Because they're like, well, we actually don't have to sign you to an exclusive deal that gives you severance and union and all these and rights because you don't have rights. You're a contractor. Legally, you're a contractor. We didn't determine that, right? And I hate that excuse. That's become the default excuse of, well, it's not my fault this ignorant consumer didn't know this information. It's like 90% of the people know this information. You're willfully profiting off the 10% that don't, and you don't think there's anything wrong with that. Even though, realistically, you could show that person in 2 Google searches the information that exists. Like, to me, no, that's shit. You know what I mean?
just
Shady
because you
shit.
can do something
Fuck
doesn't
you.
mean you
I have no problem
should.
calling that person out in public. You know what I mean? I have no problem if they get offended. Like, no, fuck you. If you can call this person out, then I can or take advantage of this person, then I can call you out for being a douchebag.
Any fucking payday loan service in the States can actually go eat a dick. And if those places were lit on fire, I'd be like, this is an okay thing that happens.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah, maybe not absolutely with lighting things on fire. I'm not condoning actual arson, but I'm saying, like, if the business burned down and then all of a sudden that person can't take advantage of people anymore, I'm not going to cry.
If you're the type of person who's coming into a payday loan and you're like, I need groceries for my kids, right?
Yeah, and then now you're fucked
this
for the
person's
rest
gonna have
of...
you fast, and I'm just like, you know what? That person should be at a place that just gives them fucking groceries. That's my take.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. They're waiting between paydays. I don't even care if you want to make them prove that they're waiting between paydays, right? Fine. Make them prove that they're working. But I don't give a shit. Still, you know what I mean? Give them some food. These other people are just like, how much money can I get out of them in the long run? Even though I know realistically they're never going to be able to pay me back eventually, and this is eventually going to go to creditors.
I'm going to get a bunch of money out of this.
Yes, and the creditors pay them, right? Because it just moves on from creditor to creditor. Oh, that shit's so fucking shady. It's all shady down the chain. Banks are shady, for fuck's sakes. The modern system that we use for everything, right? Banks. They're pretty shady.
That's it. That's it. Take that. Take that.
You know what? They might even be more shady now that I think about it with banks, because they're not just they don't just play on information. Because you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about like payday loan people and other people who like play on information that a lot of people know, right? So it's like that's kind of shady because you're just playing on the really small people who just don't happen to know this, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though you could absolutely educate them and help them and like probably even build some sort of business relationship out of that, right? Like there's so many more ways you could be approaching that aspect of information, right?
Wow.
Like the type of people who take a fee to educate someone or to assist someone through finances, but don't ever manipulate. I'm okay with that. What's wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
You're helping someone out for a percentage.
Well, yeah, and you've put in the effort to learn how to do this. You should be rewarded for the time investment,
and
right? Yeah, I agree with that.
You're also
obviously.
upfront with them from the beginning about what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas I feel like banks, they know that they know information you don't know, and then they make it really hard for you to know that, and then manipulate you on top of that sometimes. Which is like, that's kind of shady, right? That's kind of like, even more so, because it's like, you know that you're in this really specialized field, and so few people know about it, because it's like, you know, it's banking. It's literally like fucking... Have you ever seen banking agreements sometimes, and the documents? Like, they're fucking nebulous.
No, I've had pretty good luck with banks.
Well, I'm talking real banking. You're basically talking your luck with like setting up a bank account and depositing money.
Yeah,
that's
I'm also not.
I'm talking about investments, and I'm talking about when you get called in to sit down with the guy, not the guy you normally see at the till.
I've had meetings with the guy, but I do well in those meetings because I don't know what it's like for the average person, because they don't try to fuck with me because I already know what I'm doing.
What you're
to
doing,
an extent.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that's what that's like and that's what they're all like. I'm saying I don't have any experience with meetings with the guy because they're not even going to try.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're not going to try because they know, like, okay, if
that's
90% of
fair.
the people are
like
going to
generally,
get
what happens in those situations is someone's like, okay, I got an excess amount of money, and I've set up RRSPs and like typical investment things like that they already that are pretty easy to manage, like having a savings account that gives you interest, like things like
Yeah.
that, just your typical ways. Then they go, okay, well, I can go more. Let's get into investment banking, right, or investments, and then they get called in to meet with an investment banker, and then that banker is then usually you can get good ones. It's like with salesmen, right? You can get good ones, or you can get ones where you then look at the fine print and go, what the fuck did they just do to me?
Yeah. Well, that's the other
Nothing
thing
illegal,
too.
but what they did, and then you're just like, fuck you. That's trash.
Yeah. Not only do I also
think
know
there
what
should
I'm
be
doing,
because you walk out of that meeting going, I have no idea what just happened.
Yeah. That's a problem.
That shouldn't be allowed. That's manipulation.
Yeah. But part of the other advantage I have is that my mom has really good working relationships with a lot of people, and I come in with a certain advantage. On top of, armed with my own knowledge, it's also a lot easier when when your mom is also already vetted different people. She's like, don't fucking talk to this person. As long as you get anybody besides this person, you're probably going to be fine. Makes things a little
I've
bit
never
easier.
seen The Big Short, people, by the way. Good movie. With Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell.
I like both of those guys.
Yes. It is about the banking crisis and housing market crisis and stuff in like '08. And how some of that came to be. And it has a really distinct, funny way of like to appeal to the masses where when it gets into technical banking terms or how
Sorry
things are
about that sneeze.
structured or work, it cuts to a celebrity at random and it says, hi, I'm celebrity at random, here to explain how this is. Kind of to be like, because of course you're not going to pay attention unless there's a celebrity saying it. It's a pretty good bit.
Yeah. Darkness.
And speaking of shady shit, there was a lot of shady shit that went on during that period.
I bet.
Oh, shadiness. Who's the most shady? The organization are shady. They manipulate us, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like if you're acting like the organization, then you know you're probably not in the right. If you're asking more questions, if you're answering questions with more questions, perhaps you should get, or if that's what your person you're in a meeting with is doing, maybe it's time to not be in that meeting.
Yep.
Have you ever been shadied in public, but you like caught it and you just left, like by a salesman or anything?
Yeah, so, this was a good one.
We're gonna call that shadied now. Slim shadied.
Yeah, this wasn't in public. This was, a girl
Whatever,
that I
even
was dating.
in a meeting or...
Well, no, yeah. So, a girl that I was dating was, looking for alternate sources of employment. That sounded like a sex thing, and it wasn't. She was working in a place that she didn't want to work, and she went in for
the door-to-door people pyramid scheme
No,
shit?
yeah, it was a pyramid scheme, but she didn't know what a pyramid scheme was. She was just like, there was this really she had all the dealings with them, and there was like some sort of she called it a business opportunity and was like, yeah, you should come. And I was like, all right, I'll come along. And it was real obvious it was a pyramid scheme. So they're like, does anyone have any questions? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. This is a pyramid scheme. They're like, this is not a pyramid scheme. They started using other words. And I walked up and I grabbed the marker out of their hand, and like they had done, stuff on the board, and it was literally in the shape of the fucking pyramid. Like I drew the pyramid around what they did, dropped the marker, and walked out.
Genius.
Yeah. But also,
I was at a meeting for one of those that was like it was a scam, but it was like the door-to-door one.
Yeah.
They weren't selling like security. They were like getting people to upgrade on their gas, and they worked for a gas company. But it's like the gas company hiring outside people to go door to door and see it. But instead of hiring, instead of hiring people to work, like this is how you know this shit is shady, right? Because even though I'm not denying that it was probably the legitimate gas company that was still offering this, they weren't offering you a job with the gas company. You understand, right? They were offering you a job with this outside person who didn't work for the and you're just like,
so
okay.
they could drop the company, or like the shell corporation, whenever they wanted.
When they're done, yeah, exactly. Because they don't want to be associated with shady door-to-door shit that frustrates people that they know is going to create a million customer complaints, right? Of people coming to their door and saying, I'm going to offer you a better rate. I'm going to offer you a better rate. What thing you do?
Your Majesty, come on!
I just also, me, I don't like that very forceful way of trying to advertise your product.
Yeah.
Like, there are avenues to advertise your product. They cost money.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't ADCO just say we're offering a deal? Or the gas company offering a deal and then run that deal on as like an ad? Why did they need people to go door to door, right? Again, it's because they were trying to save money doing it. That's why. They knew if they paid a little bit of money to Shell Company guy, then Shell Company guy creates a pyramid scheme where he pays 20 people who go door to door pennies. Those, you know what I mean? The reality that it's all about saving a buck for companies that already make so much fucking money on shit like that is what makes it so fucking frustrating.
Yeah. I don't disagree. Obviously. Because I'm not an idiot, but...
When you're just like, realistically, you're just like, do what you want to do with this. Just tell people this is what you're doing and pay them reasonably. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, problem fucking solved.
Like, why? Why do you have to be so fucking nebulous? So many people are just like, I'm going to get one away. You see the loophole here? It's like, great, you found the loophole.
Yeah, does that make you smart? Maybe. Does it make you a dick?
I
Probably.
ruined this game of Monopoly because I found the loophole. Thanks, everyone. Everyone at the party's mad now. Good job.
Yeah.
But hey, you found the loophole.
But I have the Monopoly money, Ryan. I'm the
Guess
banker
what?
now.
They're right. The fact. But hey, but then they keep telling you facts, loophole. It's like, fuck. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
That's
what
the
you
most
didn't get
important
invited
message.
to the next party.
It's like yeah. You go up to every 3-year-old and make sure to tell them Santa's not real too, don't you? Like you're that person.
Right? What? Spoilers.
Next thing you're gonna tell me that Nominee's been kidnapped.
Really?
Shit.
That's where we're going with that joke now.
I gave it a twist.
Are you feeling awful about
I saw her, so I was like, fuck it.
memory? Or maybe you...
Cut it out,
Yeah,
Boxy.
she doesn't like men in blacking people. There's probably consequences.
Hey, fake Riku.
Namine? She doesn't want to remember Sora.
Is that so?
I mean, they've never met at this point,
Don't
so...
worry. Whatever's hurting
She
you,
might have met.
I'll make
don't
it go
remember.
away.
No, not at this point. We didn't meet her until really late.
Oh, you're right.
I swear it on this. The good luck charm you gave me. See ya.
Okay, so his memory's already been tinkered with at this point.
Yeah, his heart too.
But
They gave him his fake heart. They said.
that was the
Just
memory.
amazing. It's almost like you completely made his
okay.
heart from scratch.
I don't know.
Nice
Do you think
touch
the heart
with
goes
the
in their
good luck
their
charm.
chest or their brain?
No,
Or
but
is it
like...
like a soul.
You could use
They were talking about
transform
changing the
objects
memory,
like
and then it
cards
was
into
like...
keepsakes.
And then it was like, what, you're gonna change my heart?
Same
After they were talking about
Sora,
the memory thing,
right?
so I equated the two together.
You changed Kyrie's good luck charm with your magic, didn't you?
Shit, she's a witch. Burn her at the
It won't
stake.
be long before Sora forgets about Kyrie completely.
There's no such thing as a witch in anime.
And then he'll be all yours to...
He won't forget.
Like, come on. Someone really a witch when everyone can shoot magic?
No matter how much I change his memory, Sora will never forget Kyrie.
Well, we did.
Memories of me,
No, I got spoilers for you.
more false memories of me. Will just
Oh no, he
be
remembered her
as
name at the end. Remember?
Yeah.
Before he got locked in the
stronger
pod.
than before.
Yeah, but he did forget about her before that.
A two-person, a
I'm the
three-person
shadow of
pod.
Kyrie.
I'm the shadow of Kyrie? What the fuck does that mean?
Shit.
Use the
Well,
same...
that's anime.
problem with that? That should
Surprised
be
Shadow
your
wasn't in
incentive not
Green
to
Legend of
screw
Zelda.
anything up. Just do a good job rewriting Sora's heart. Then you can actually
wonder
be
if-
somebody.
if she's one of
and
the
no longer
nobodies?
Just Kyrie's shadow.
Yeah.
You'll be
I also
real in
don't know
Sora's
what a
heart.
nobody is yet, but... I assume that she's one of them. Based off of all the use of the word somebody.
You do know that some people are nobodies. You do know that the organization is nobodies.
I know that Axel has called himself a nobody, and he's referred to other nobodies, but I don't know if everyone in the organization is supposed to be a nobody, or what a nobody is.
He has referenced in group to each other though, like, hey, we're
Yeah.
nobodies or we're nobodies.
Well, he's referred to the nobodies in a conversation to nominate.
You get the idea that thus far some organization members could or couldn't be nobodies. Based
Yes,
on
and Axel is, according to Axel.
yes.
Yes, and I wasn't putting in any inference there. I was just laying down what was had concluded fact. I don't want to be Shady, Ryan. I don't want to be Slim Shady.
Slim Shady. This game's shady.
This looks like a job for me.
Speaking of shady, this game's systems shady. They make you think it's a simple card game, and then as they show it to you, they add on layers and layers and layers without ever explaining what those layers
It's a
are.
bunch of bullshit.
They just want you to cry, right? They're like layers, onions, cry.
Okay,
Memories, it all
there's
fits.
Shrek.
Yeah. I've never been the cry at onions type. You?
No.
I believe it's supposed to happen when you're cutting them.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah, it's not an emotional reaction, it's like a physical one.
As you destroy the layers. I know, it's just ironic that that's the physical reaction to destroying the layers of the onion.
How's that ironic?
It's just weird because like people like things that are layered, like narratively, structurally, right? You don't want something that's just plain, right? Like we seem to have a fascination and respect for things that are more layered. Think of art, right? The more layers it has, the better. Text, everything, it's all layers.
Cakes.
I don't know. Yeah, we like layered things. So like maybe it's just you know what? You're right. It's not an emotional reaction. But I'm just saying. I just think it's weird and ironic that it's like, as you're destroying this onion, maybe the onion's better as a whole. That's what we're saying. Just eat it as. I'm not a big onion guy. I know some people who do that. Just grab it, just like an apple.
Oh, weird. No, that's fucking gross. Are you kidding me?
It doesn't taste like much. It's just like spicy, from what I understand. See, I think that might make me tear up. I feel like that would just be, but not from like the emotional impact of eating an onion, from how bitter it probably would be.
Yeah. Your Majesty! Come on!
Inverse burst. This is a Mario Party game. Mini game.
Feels like one.
Time to play the inverse burst. Also, we really grind. We did an episode through Atlantica, and I didn't even blink.
Yeah.
Man, or Atlantica, whatever.
No, it was Atlantica. You were right.
Fucking Christ. Yeah, this one's the one with it. See? Damn lore. Why can't it all just be Atlantis? Or Atlantica. Pick one. Stick with it. Atlantis was the factual one.
Well, they're different places, yeah.
I know, but they're basically the same place.
Are they, though?
They're different places technically, but they're metaphorically the same. Underwater ocean. Fish guy holds a trident, is the king. Same thing as Aquaman.
Jason
Also
Momoa
Stargaze,
up in this bitch.
Atlantis, underwater.
Yeah.
Shit,
Well,
underwater. Well, space.
Yeah.
You said that
Well,
was space, but
yeah, but
space water? Is that
no.
under space
So,
water?
so that one's actually really cool. I like the lore of that show.
I know
so,
we've talked about it before.
yeah.
We might have even talked about it on Feature. So
I think,
if you
yeah.
listened to us talk about this in Pajanime 1, then
No, I think it was in
Pajanime 2.
I think it was in Pajanime 2. I just think it was in original Kingdom Hearts
Could have
1.
been in Bloodborne,
No, that
honestly.
I think it was Kingdom Hearts 1 when we were stuck in
We were
Atlantis.
in Atlantis, yeah.
Atlantica, my bad.
We both did it there.
I did it on purpose, Ryan.
By the power of Aquaman. You know what? I didn't. I'll let you look good. Go
Thanks,
ahead.
man.
Yeah, take this. I'll let
All
you
I
do
have
what
is the
you do. You're
respect of our
beginner.
viewers, okay? Yeah. Dark Aura.
Dude.
Fucking what?
Or when we doing all that anime shit from the beginning? It seems like that's his final.
I used
Aeon's
3
final
nines when I'm
summon.
in dark mode, and apparently that's yep. Turns out that's
Rex's final summon. Rex's final Aeon. Fuck. There we go. I'll get it eventually.
Rex's
Brexins?
Vexen.
Braskus.
Oh, Braska. Okay, I thought you were.
There we go. Boom.
I thought
I knew I would get it eventually. Sorry, that was so much anime ago.
Yeah. I wasn't trying to be a dick there. I wasn't sure
No,
if
I
you
know
were trying to.
I'm
Yeah.
saying sorry to the audience because I'm just like that's in recording time. That's like a year ago.
No.
You know how much fucking you know how many episodes of this we've done since then?
Like 84.
Like a lot. Yeah. 84 times an hour, half hour, whatever. Some of them are an hour.
Yeah.
It's been at least 84 hours.
Not at least.
With enough.
Like you could say it's been
Fine.
at least half of that. You could say it's been at least 42 hours.
Yeah. I know. I'm just thinking how many longer episodes we've done, and as that.
Yeah, but even though it's like 84 hours,
if we're being realistic, it's probably been like 65 hours.
it's probably been at least 50. Like we don't go that far over that often.
We spent. Listen, you know what? We actually have the numbers for this, because look at your game time.
No, that's useless. First of all, this is only one game.
This is just for Riku, but before that, Rechain of Memories was 30 hours.
But it wasn't really. There was some of that was like while we were.
No,
sitting there
because
waiting for
I'm not
exports.
counting just game time for this, right? Because I'm saying how long it's been and how much anime I personally and how much I've had to endure.
Are we counting?
Since we've seen Braska's final Aeon.
Are
So
we counting
that means
us sitting there
that-
waiting for the export to go as
Yes,
time though?
absolutely,
fucking
because that's
fine.
time. But even so that counts as time. That counts as time that I've invested. So
Sure, Ryan.
in terms of time I've invested, it's been definitely 84 hours.
Yeah, I guess if we're counting that, sure.
If we're counting real world time, I don't remember even when we were recording Final Fantasy. I feel like it was before this year. That's how long ago it feels like.
We didn't start until like the first episode went up on our 1-year anniversary in April. Remember?
Yeah, but didn't we start recording it before then?
Oh yeah, of course we did.
I feel like we were pretty decently into it by that point. Because you intentionally got us a big backlog because you were like, I want to debut this feature, and then you decided to debut the dueling features, right? Remember with Chris and you, and then me. That was kind of when we decided to do all that.
Yeah.
So I believe we at least had 10 episodes in the bank by that point.
Oh yeah. Well, about that actually. Dildo Trophy, man, episode 10.
Which means we probably started at the beginning of the year, like February.
I think we started it like early March. It sounds right.
Because we were definitely done Final Fantasy by the time E3 happened.
Hang on, he says the number.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Okay. We need to listen
What's up,
to
Boogie
him because he, remember he does that thing where he'll say the number you have to hit?
Oh, yeah. Like it?
Shh, hang on.
4. They were all 4s.
Yeah.
Roll. Can you use Mickey to do anything, or is he just a regular song?
I need to hang on to him. I can't attack Oogie Boogie right now, so.
I know, that's why I was wondering if maybe Mickey disabled Oogie Boogie's things.
No.
Okay.
I don't remember. I remember this fight having a stupid gimmick that I just. Oh, that was it.
Oh, you gotta hit them back, right? Yeah.
No, I have to cancel
His
his
bombs.
card on the way before it. Yeah.
Oh. And then you can hit them, yeah. At least you can slide it up. Kamehameha. Oh, okay. He casts it like a freaking Hadoken. That's kind of cool. Sora doesn't do anything like that. He just shoots it out of his freaking key, which is also kind of cool. But I mean, I don't know. I believe that Mickey card will do the trick.
Yes.
To be fair, if I was a big ghost sack, I would also probably not do Love Knife. I believe that what the kids say to that is same.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. He's dead.
Almost.
Yeah, they should have given it. What? Really? That was the timing? Come on, Hog Baby. Boss Hog Baby. And he is... I mean, listen, I don't want to say something's easy because we're on beginner, but... Now he's dead.
No, he has one more health bar there.
Oh, Jesus.
Bobby
Sorry,
Heenan.
He was at the end. My goodness.
Yeah, you really Bobby Heenan that one up, didn't you?
You got him. Oh, and then you Hadoken him, but he countered with his stupid kick you off the field. Yeah. Kyle's favorite world. This actually was a fun boss.
In regular Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah,
this boss fight was bad in the in Reshape first time.
Yes, I feel like we don't really have any. We can't really judge
No.
boss fights or any quality in this version because we're on beginner, so it doesn't.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We knew the bed we laid in. We're okay with it.
Yes.
Oogie boogie. Moving forward. Oh, actually, you know what? Moving forward into the end of the episode, I'd say.
Yeah. We'll just get ourselves to
a save point.
Yeah.
Like a good old.
Oh, fuck me, really?
Oh. That's okay. Let's get some kills. Yeah, so we ranted about unions and shady shit these last few episodes a little bit. Sorry about that, but you know, the Telltale stuff kind of had me in the mindset of some of that stuff. I know you as well, so.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself, Telltale. You guys can actually go drink
Not
bleach.
the devs, though. Not the devs.
Yeah, obviously.
The
Those
guys
are the people who got fucked.
The guys are girl. I don't know who runs it, and I wouldn't go as harsh as say go fuck yourself, but I would say, I don't know, maybe have a hard examination of the decisions you made and the consequences for them. And if you do get funding for anything, maybe a good gesture of giving it to the developers who you didn't pay severance or overtime.
Yeah.
Would be a nice idea.
Because you guys are dicks.
Like I'm just saying, it's a byproduct of your guys' decisions, right?
Yeah, of course.
Your decision to buy up all those licenses wasn't necessarily. That's kind of the problem I have with it all. That's not necessarily the worst decision. There was probably an avenue for that, but because they decided to pump out games so fast with those licenses, they never really allowed any time for. Like, they basically shoehorned their developers into a bad situation, and then when push came to shove, when this bad situation came to get resolved, they put their developers in the front of it and let them take all the heat. Those are two of the worst things you can ever do. It's not the developer's fault that you decided to take no time on those games and just release them piecemeal, right?
Yeah.
Or like one after the other. Like, they picked up a lot, like Game of Thrones, Batman, Borderlands, Guardians of the Galaxy. There was Walking Dead, which did multiple seasons. The Wolf Among Us.
Yep.
Oh man, there's more. There were more even. Like, that's the Minecraft. You said there were so many.
Yep. On that note, though, that'll do it for
on
this
that
one.
tall tale.
Telltale. Yep. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you guys next time.
Support your developers.
Spay
Developers.
Spay into your pets.
That meme needs to come back, people.